My name's Colin. I live in Bath in the southwest of England. This is my channel, the Yay Nay or Meh channel, and this is another episode of This Charmed Man, a series of first time reaction videos to the TV series Charmed. And we have reached episode 14 of season 2. We are into the second half of the season, and after the really great episode that was Awakened, we had the, in my opinion, really awful episode that was Animal Pragmatism. And now we continue on with Prue still unemployed, Phoebe going to college and kind of thriving, and maybe actually got a boyfriend. It'll be interesting seeing for Ethan, I think his name was. Be interesting if you see that guy again. And Piper and the love triangle, which I think I've made my feelings abundantly clear on. And people have been telling me off. So, yes, I'll just leave that alone for the moment. But, yeah, I don't think there's really anything to get on with. So, episode 14 is... Ooh, Pardon My Past. So I wonder if this is going to be a flashback episode. And therefore I wonder if we are going to tick anything off my trope bingo card list. A series of ideas and tropes and pastiches of well-known material and a series of monsters which tend to show up in this kind of TV show, but also a series of characters from season 1 of Charmed which potentially could show up again. And since this is Pardon My Past, I wonder if this is the episode in which we're going to see Melinda again. Or maybe, possibly Brianna, who got mentioned in the Lords of War episode. That was the one where Prue got split into different versions of herself, wasn't it? Which Prue is this anyway? But yeah, so Brianna did get mentioned, and as soon as you got mentioned, as soon as you saw that picture in the Book of Shadows, I thought, that's... because I think there's so much to explore about the Warren/Halliwell line. I mean, obviously we know Melinda right at the beginning, we know of Brianna, and we've seen Patty and Grant. And actually, maybe there's other people. We will see various iterations, various generations of the Warren Halliwell line. So that's my first thought, is that we're going to be looking into the past. And I wonder if finally we are going to tick another thing off my trope bingo card, because it has been a while. But yeah, looks like possibly a flashback episode, which could be very interesting. So, yes, let's get on to episode 14 of season 2, Pardon My Past.
Great party. We should do this more often.
Yeah, maybe next time we can trim the guest list by one.
Piper, I had to invite Leo. He was at the club when I went to go pick up the supplies. He knew that we were throwing a party.
Well, didn't you think maybe he'd feel a little bit awkward being here because of Dan?
No, you
Looks like
feel
it feels
awkward.
Too awkward to me. Well, Leo's just gonna have to accept the fact that you're with Dan now. You are still with Dan, right? Yes, of course.
Yes, but it is worth checking every now and again, isn't it?
You.
What the hell are they talking about?
My favorite ball player? Joe DiMaggio, hands down.
DiMaggio, no, I meant when you were growing up.
DiMaggio was my grandfather's favorite. That's why he's mine too.
You know, Leo, this is just an observation, but you don't like to talk about your past too much, do you?
It's just not all that interesting, really.
It's complicated.
I mean, being in the army sounds pretty interesting. How long you been out?
Okay, I asked you guys once to keep it down.
Oh. It's a ghost party from the past? Okay. That's... No! Do not need!
Hey, are you alright?
Yeah, I think so.
What happened?
I don't know. But I'd sure like to find out.
So was that actually travelling back? Was that echoes of the past? Are we talking ghosts or time travel is basically my question. Or some combination or variation thereof. Oh, Brian Krause has made the credits! Okay, nice. But it was after Greg Vaughan.
Maybe we should call it a night, huh? Let her get some rest.
Oh, okay. I'll walk you out.
Okay. Hey, Leo. Coming?
No, he has to stay here and, take glasses back to P3.
Now? At this hour?
I'm a tough boss. Ready?
Nice chatting with you.
Yeah. This doesn't seem suspicious at all. I mean, no matter how you do it, no matter what you do, because Dan doesn't know the truth, it's always going to look suspicious. It's always going to look worse than it is.
I was attacked by something invisible.
So, what, like a ghost?
Ooh!
I didn't sense
Is this
another
technically an
being.
invisible
It
man,
was
which I can
more,
tick off my truck bingo card?
I don't know. It wasn't really an attack. It was more of
It was a molestation, let's be honest.
a seduction.
Interesting daydream.
Yeah.
Well,
So I guess the
I would
question
not
is,
call
what
that a
was
seduction.
it?
How do you know that he won't come after you next?
Well, because from your description, it sounded very, intimate. It makes me think that yours is the only body it's interested in. Hey, you know, are you
That doesn't
sure
follow
that you're
at
up for
all.
taking this exam?
I mean, somebody sort of groping somebody. I mean, why would they only grope one person?
Look, I was up all night trying to recall a similar situation another white lighter had with one of his charges. But it had something to do with a past life coming back to haunt her present one.
What?
Look, it's obviously
Reincarnation?
It doesn't happen to most people.
You miss being a white lighter, don't you?
Yeah, at times like this I do. When I know I can help. And also when I think that I'm never gonna be with you.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Dan.
Yeah, I
hi.
kinda think
No,
you
don't be
are.
silly. We were just.
Finished.
And I mean, that was perhaps not the right time to slip that bit of conversation in. I think there's a time and place, and I don't really think that was the either.
How well do you really know Leo? About where he's from, I mean.
Why do you ask?
Believe me, this is not a jealousy thing. I just want to make sure you know who's...
You sure it's not a jealousy thing?
Just call me overprotective.
That's very sweet, Dan, but, trust me, you don't have to worry about Leo at all. He's an angel.
Literally. But obviously Dan's not going to believe that. And even in 2000, I think we're up to now, you can still do research. You can still find out, oh, this guy doesn't have a
Phoebe.
yeah, that's a literal scream.
What am I looking for?
Anything to do with past lives? Potions, spells, incantations? If I'm right, there should be something in the Book of Shadows about it.
You really think that this has something to do with Phoebe's past life?
Well, that's how our souls evolve. How we grow as individuals from one lifetime to the next.
Okay, this is that's a pretty big thing to casually slip in. I mean, sort of reincarnation is real and it happens all the time. I mean, that's reasonably big thing to just casually shove into it.
Leo's right. There's a spell that will take you to that past life.
Wait, we're not doing this.
Looks like you don't have to. It's written in the first person. I can do it alone.
No, Phoebe, there's absolutely no spell to bring you back.
Which means she can probably come back whenever she wants to.
Probably.
Right, so now we're doing Quantum Leap, basically.
She would be trapped in her past life where something awful may have happened to her.
Ah, that was what, 1930s it looks like? Maybe 20s.
Well, I was wondering where you went off to. I had to get some herbs. I can't very well make my potions without them. Would you like me to curse anyone for you? Maybe later.
Alright, so she's sort of like a flapper
We
witch.
have thirsty people waiting.
Would you tell your husband to play something different? I'm bored with this old song.
Don't worry about her, baby. Just keep playing.
Anything for you?
Oh, so she's a bit of a bitch. And that Dan playing the piano. Okay. Oh, Shannon Doherty, the photographer.
Hello, cousin.
We have to talk. Soon.
We're done.
I think the bob actually quite suits her.
Say these words. He did.
Christina Lawson, what in the devil are you doing? And you get out of here. I told you to watch my things, that's all.
Oh, that's not nice.
Charms are not toys, Christina. Do you understand me?
Oh, so is this another generation? Was that a daughter or ward or something? Christina Lawson. That's probably a name we're going to have to remember.
Why must you tease me, Anton?
Come with me. Drink this.
So the Honeywell
Potion to triple your power,
Manor
in case your cousins are ready for it.
used to be a
It's the only way for
speakeasy,
us to succeed. You
basically.
do want that, don't you?
It was really weird being back like that. Because it wasn't like I had any control over my actions. It was more like I was a visitor. Watching, feeling bad.
Like Quantum Leap.
Feeling very, very bad. I found it! The family tree.
Well, there we are at the bottom.
Yeah, I think that's maybe going to be worth pausing at some point.
Okay, and this must be us again. 3 cousins.
Yeah, well, which one is which?
Well, bright side, at least I won't have to worry about ending up in a place like this in my golden years.
Hey, at least we still have time to figure out what happened.
Not much time. By midnight, I'll be dead again.
By midnight. How do you know that?
Midnight, a full moon, what's the difference? It's always one or the other, right? I know. I won't make
Not
it to
wrong.
February 18th unless...
You go back to the past again and find some answers. Second thoughts?
They're my cousins, Anton.
They're good witches, my love, which is why I gave you this amulet to wear. Protects you from their witchcraft so they can never harm you. Hey, killing them's the only way for me to get their powers. And once I have them,
Oh.
together, we will be unstoppable.
Old Phoebe's being played by Warlock Anton. Oh, so it's not freezing, it's just going very, very slow.
How does it feel to be powerless against me?
1920s martial arts.
Oh, and that's not the only surprise. Anton could glamour into looking like anyone he wanted to. That's how he lured past Piper. He glamored into her former lover. Her former lover? Who was that?
It was me. Or rather, past me.
Him? Yeah. Hey, how did you know that?
Yeah, how did you know that?
When you become a white lighter, they let you see your past lives for perspective.
No wonder he knows so much stuff about this.
That seems A, very convenient for this week's plot, and B, why would you do that to every single white lighter? That doesn't make a lot of sense. But convenient plot point.
Christina? Hi, it's Phoebe. I'm sorry to bother you again, but I need your help with something.
If Anton can glamour into look like anybody else, is
I need you to try to
Anton
remember back to the day that the bad witch died.
the old
And
lady?
the pretty necklace was torn off her neck. Do you remember that day?
Do you think that I could write a spell that could not only send me back to the past, but give me complete control over my actions as well?
I don't know why.
Because if I can, I could go back to the past and find the amulet and hide it someplace safe so I know where to find it when I come back to the present.
The only way for you to do that would be to switch life forces with past Phoebe. In other words, you would be in 1924 and evil Phoebe would be right here in your body.
But just long enough for me
Evil
to find the
twin?
amulet and then switch back.
And I
You
love the fact
realize
that
you won't
Phoebe's
look
now
any different
confident
without
enough to write her own
I
spell.
still think you're evil Phoebe and try to kill you. Phoebe, are you alright? Are you there?
Here, there, everywhere.
Yeah, called it. She's Anton.
Anton, what's going on?
It's okay.
Where am I?
You've been reincarnated. Reborn. To me.
Okay, so I don't think we're quite to Evil Twin yet. Because the whole point of the Evil Twin trope is somebody masquerading as one of the characters.
Miss Larson, can I get you anything else?
Some jello would be nice.
Some Jell-O.
There's always room for
Okay,
Jello.
see what I can do.
There's always room for Jell-O. Jell-O gelatin is the lighter one that tastes more than ever like luscious fresh fruit. No matter how you serve it, there's always room for Jell-O.
All right, we have to figure out a way to get that amulet off of her.
Yeah, great. Any idea how?
In this time and in this place.
Hi. How's it going?
Behind you!
Oh, nicely done.
You know, I'm just gonna come right out and say this, even if you get mad at me. But I know in my gut that something's not right with him. He worries me, I mean, just for you.
Are you talking about Leo?
If Leo is his real name. You know, I had my brother-in-law, who works for the State Department, check out his army records. But the only Leo Wyatt they came up with died almost 60 years ago in World War II.
You do have to consider, from Dan's point of view, this is really, really shady. And, you got the whole jealousy thing as well. But it is really, really shady. I mean, you can't blame him for doing this. And it's doubly suspicious because Piper is so casual about the whole thing.
It's not just you, I mean, we all have a little bad in us. It's just that when you
Yeah, I mean, and when they went to the future, I mean, future Prue was a total
Is this
bitch.
supposed to be making me feel better?
Right. So basically, it was a little bit quantum leap, but quantum leaping into your own past life. And the whole thing about confirming absolutely confirming that reincarnation is a thing and it happens to everybody. That seems to be a pretty major plot, mythology aspect to be inserted reasonably casually into an episode. And yeah, very, very close, I think, to ticking off the evil twin trope from my trope bingo card. But ultimately, I don't think that quite qualifies, because in my mind, the evil twin trope is an evil doppelganger taking the place of one of our protagonists and interacting with everybody as if they are the original, but messing everything up or being evil or trying to kill people, whatever. And evil Phoebe was only in the show, only in the present for a very short space of time, and they knew exactly who she was. They knew that it was evil Phoebe sitting in front of them. So yeah, don't think that quite qualifies as evil twin. But I suspect it's one of those situations where that's as close as we're going to get, maybe. So I possibly don't think we're ever going to tick that one off the bingo card. But who knows? We've got, 6 more seasons to go. But yeah, the idea of having these past lives influence the future and point you in the direction, and also almost turning it into a self-fulfilling prophecy, because without that seduction, which was molestation, to be honest about that, it did not need to be that graphic. And I mean, yeah, past Phoebe in 1924 has a relationship with Anton, so that's kind of thing's kind of acceptable, but maybe not appropriate in a reasonably public setting. But having that seduction and pointing them in the direction of the old folks' home and the old lady who was, I think, Christina, whose doll got broken. They wouldn't have gone to the old folks' home if they hadn't been warned by the manifestation of Anton. So was that Anton the whole time manipulating situations so they would do that? A little bit unclear, but yeah, some interesting ideas, and having an opportunity to have the cast dress up in 1920s fashions. I do think the bob suited Shannon Doherty. I think she looked good in that. And also the fact that she was a photographer in 1924, and when she dropped off Phoebe into the exam room, she seemed to be intrigued, drawn to a photography exhibit or something. So maybe that's something. I mean, something that she could be passionate about in the present day is photography. Having an eye for art. It's not the biggest leap, the biggest stretch to do that. So I think that's possibly where Prue is going, is the photography route, which could be interesting. And it's also the kind of job where you don't have such a rigid schedule that you can't just go off and do something else, instead of taking family time out of an office environment. You see, a student, somebody who owns their own business, and a self-employed photographer, I think that can cover a lot of eventualities when you need to rush off somewhere and save the world. See, I think Prue's gonna get into photography. And yeah, pretty interesting idea. I mean, the idea of the dark side and the light side, almost the seduction of being bad, and the benefits and the consequences and the costs of being bad. Having all of it in that circumstance. Yeah, I mean that's pretty interesting. So yeah, I think a pretty good episode. And we'll have to see how things develop in the next one, which I'm going to record now. And I don't think there's anything else I need to say. So, all that remains for me to say is this has been a presentation of the Yay, Nay or Meh channel, and I will see you next time where I shine a light on TV and cinema, both obvious and obscure.